The Nuggets back in Denver to take on the Bulls for the last time of the season. How'd the game go? Let's find out. You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports with good vibes. Let's get it. How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. So the Nuggets were taking on the Chicago Bulls for the last time of the season tonight. The starting lineup was Jamal Murray, Christian Braun, Michael Porter Jr., Peyton Watson, and Deandre Jordan. Aaron Gordon was out once again with the calf strain. And if you remember my last episode, which I know it's been a while, I apologize for being off a couple of games now, but I just couldn't handle that Portland loss. That was a really bad loss. And then also right after that Lakers loss. But you did have an amazing win against the Houston Rockets. Awesome win there, Nuggets. But then we got into tonight, and there was no Aaron Gordon. So if you remember that last episode that I did after the Lakers loss, I showed you my question that I did with Aaron Gordon in the locker room there. I asked him how his calf strain. I asked him how it was feeling and what exactly he could pinpoint to why it gets activated. And he said it was fine and it's completely healthy. And here we are, him out with the calf strain. How healthy is it, Aaron Gordon? I love you, man, but that's exactly why I asked that question. And I got heat for that, too, from other people watching my podcast. They said it was a stupid question. It's not a stupid question. I guarantee you that was not a stupid question. It was a very valid question. And I understand that maybe players might be a little sensitive to their injuries or whatever, but it's a consistent thing. And just need to figure out what exactly is that reason. Because he's a well-oiled machine. He's very trained. He has a strict diet and workout regimen. So what exactly is activating it every single time? Because he's on and off every single stretch of games, it seems like. It's been really frustrating. I'm sure it's even more frustrating for Aaron Gordon, but this is exactly why I asked that question. I no longer feel bad about asking that question. It's just unfortunate that he had to be out. So with that, the Nuggets were in their fast break jerseys tonight. The Bulls were in their famous red jerseys. And the Bulls got that final win and swept the Nuggets for the season, 129 to 119. It was a difficult loss to take for sure if you're a Nuggets Nation. But if you're Bulls Nation, then go Bulls. They are still one of my favorite teams to watch, even though they've had a up and down kind of season. They're in the play-in tournament right now, so more power to them. They had an amazing win against the Lakers, absolutely crushed them, which I needed to see after we got blown out by the Trailblazers. So it was nice to see them win, but then not so nice to watch them win against us. Even though I do like the Bulls, I'm always Nuggets Nation first, so it still stings regardless. And what happened in that game? Let's break it down. So the Nuggets controlled the tip, luckily, because Malone has been more understanding of, hey, why don't we use DeAndre Jordan more? Jokić's out, use DJ. He is one of the best rebounders of our team. It worked for the Rockets. He should have played against the Portland Trailblazers. They apparently went small. They shouldn't have went small. They should have used him in there because they were destroying us. That's in the past, though. Glad that they used DeAndre Jordan in back-to-back games. I hope they use him against the Bucks next game. But we had good productive minutes from DeAndre Jordan. He gets the tap. And then Jamal, immediately afterwards, hits a 16-footer for the first points of the game, followed by a Bulls turnover, but the Nuggets weren't able to convert. Coby White gets the Bulls on the board with a floater of his own, and Christian Braun knocks down a three-point shot to get the Nuggets up by 3. Michael Porter Jr. passes to CB, who gets his shot blocked but Michael Porter Jr. with a great hustle to clean up the bucket. That was a great moment there. Just showing the hustle and the competitive grit that you need. Like, we got a lot more of that. You didn't see that in the Portland game. Like, it was just non-existent. So now we've had back-to-back games where you see a lot more competitiveness. Whatever Malone said in the locker room that was heated discussion against all of them, it needed to be said, and it's shown much better minutes now. So Michael Porter Jr. again went for a pass to CB. CB had a great moment, but then got blocked, and then Michael Porter Jr. was sticking around to hustle and clean up the bucket there. Second chance points. Vucevic makes an uncontested 3 to make it a 1-point game, which goes back down the several games that I've talked about, that the Nuggets just do not contest threes. It is one of the most frustrating things. I mean, one of the things that I would love to ask Malone now is, what annoys you more? Ball watching, essentially giving up uncontested threes, or fouling a jump shooter? Like, what's worse? They're both horrible, but like, what is actually worse there? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Another hustle play by the Nuggets, though, and sticking with the play kind of mentality, got them second chance points to get the Nuggets lead up to 9. It was great. Nuggets were living high on a 9-point lead there. Brody sings a 3 to get the Nuggets lead up to 10, followed by a 3 from Zeke. Man, it looked like we were going to win this game for sure. Like, we weren't going to get swept by the Bulls. We've gotten swept by the Wizards, the worst team in the league. We've gotten swept by the Cavs, the Celtics, and the Knicks. We weren't going to get swept by the Bulls. We were going to take this to them. Up 13, Coby then sinks a 3. Near logo, by the way, too. Like, it was an awesome 3 from Coby White. He just had a great game. He's been having great games. I mean, he's definitely one of my favorite players to watch in the Eastern Conference and in the league, really. I vote for him every All-Star on the East side. He's amazing. I love him. So he shot a great 3 all the way down from the logo to fight back and they got the lead down to 5. Great plays by Michael Porter Jr. and Zeke gets the Nuggets lead back up to 8, and the Nuggets actually win the first quarter, 35-27. The second quarter starts, and the Bulls start the quarter off with a step back from Williams for the first points of the quarter. Bulls go on a run to tie the game and force Malone to take a timeout, and then the Bulls get their first lead at the 8:46 mark of the second quarter. With a 3, I should say. Jamal then responds with 3 of his own to get the Nuggets back in front, followed by a bucket by Brody to get a 4-point lead. And then Swatson, I gotta change that. In my notes I put Swatson, but then the autocorrect Swatson shows up, and he had a great night tonight, I think. He shows up with some good defensive plays, blocking shots and knocking down shots. Coby then hits a 3 to tie the game, which sucked. Bulls win the second quarter 38-30, and the game is tied at 65 going into the half. The third quarter, Bulls started the quarter off with a miss and DJ the rebound, but the Nuggets aren't able to convert. On the other end, Payne Watson gets a block, but the Nuggets still aren't able to convert. And then Buzelis finally knocks down a 3 for the first points of the quarter. Murray responds with a 3 to tie it back up, and P-Watt gets a tech, and no one is able to, we still don't know why he got a tech. I think he might have said something to the ref or whatever, or someone, and they teed him up, but there was no explanation for why he got teed. So it sends Coby to the line to make the free throw tech bucket, and he makes it, obviously. And then DJ gets fouled and goes to the line and misses both, but on the second miss, there's a lane violation, and it's a double lane violation called on both Vucevic and MPJ, which it should have just been on Vucevic because his toes were already over the line before DJ even shot the ball. It was ridiculous. There was a lot of crazy, ridiculous plays by the refs tonight. Gonna be honest, there was a lot of unnecessary calls. Which this led to a jump ball, and DJ actually wins the tip again. Murray and Giddey race for the ball, and Jamal, with some aggression, gets the ball and gets the layup, and there's a foul called, but they don't give him the points. It should have been an and one call, but it wasn't. And so they had to do outside out of bounds. So at least the Nuggets still got the ball. The foul was called on Giddey. And Nuggets then tried to get the bucket, and DJ is charged with an offensive goaltending. Ridiculous. Like, it just, as soon as the Nuggets were trying to actually win this game, the refs were there to say, nope, not going to get it. Nope, sorry. Coby White then hits with an offensive foul. Chicago challenges the call and was successful, leading him to the line to go for two. Obviously, he makes two because he's a great free throw shooter. Hustle and grit gets the Nuggets back into the game with a 2-point lead on a 13-5 run. The third is tied at 30 as the game is tied at 95. So we get into the fourth quarter. Nuggets start off the fourth quarter with a dunk from MPJ off an assist by Brody for the first points of the quarter, followed by another bucket by MPJ, and then that was like basically all she wrote. Because then Coby went, kind of took charge of the game and got the Bulls ahead, and he gets a layup to get the Bulls first to 100. And what have I said? Almost every single episode here is that the team who gets to 100 first usually is the one who wins. I have yet to see a game where the team that went to 100 first lost the game. This is like, you can get to 50 first, and I think the Nuggets did get to 50 first, but you can still lose the game. It's the 100 mark that really is the telling point, and that's exactly what we saw here. As soon as they hit the 100, I was like, damn it, we lost this game. It was so, and it was like a 5-point lead too at this point. We were 99 to, what was it, like 94? No. Yeah, 94, that would be 5 points. So we had a 5-point lead. And we only had one more point to put on the board to get first to 100, and they missed their chance, leading to back-to-back buckets by the Bulls and got them to 100 first. Hey, Bulls go on a run to extend their lead to 7. Nuggets down by 9 as the team trades threes towards the end of the game. Like, you can't be trading threes if you plan on winning this game. You got to get stops. And the Nuggets just weren't getting stops in the fourth quarter. They were gassed. But granted, again, they played hard tonight for sure. So the Nuggets finally miss the bucket. Then Giddey knocks down a 3 to gain a 12-point lead with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game. The Bulls then win the fourth quarter 34-24. Bulls win and sweep the Nuggets 129-119. So I'm going to do something a little bit different tonight. So normally I cut to like a commercial or whatever that is kind of bullshit because no one's really giving me money for that shit anyway. So I'm going to head into the stats right now and talk about these stats because this was crazy. So where are my stats? My stats are over here. Let's get into this. Yeah, and this is also another back-to-back game that we lost, the second game of the back-to-back, which is unfortunate. So, all right, so stats here. We got Michael Porter Jr. played 35 minutes, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He was 7 for 18 from field, 1 for 10 from 3. He could not hit a 3 tonight. It was really unfortunate. His 3 overall has been really spotty this season. It's really surprising because usually he's our best 3-point shooter. Here he is, 1 for 10. 1 for 2 from free throws. He had 0 turnovers, 0 personal fouls, was a minus 22. Peyton Watson played 39 minutes tonight, 24 points for P. Watt, 6 rebounds, and then 4 blocks, 8 for 12 from field. So 4 blocks though, man. Swanson was alive tonight. 2 for 4 from 3, 6 for 8 from free throws, 0 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a 0 tonight. Deandre Jordan played 30 minutes tonight. He got himself a double-double. 10 points, 17 rebounds. Awesome, minutes from DJ tonight. 7 assists, a near triple-double. He had 1 steal, 4 for 6 from field, 2 for 5 from free throws, because obviously we all know that he's not the best free throw shooter of the Nuggets, kind of one of the worst, which is exactly what the other teams know, and they immediately attack. If they're going to foul someone, they're going to foul DJ. So he had 3 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a +2. Christian Brown played 39 minutes tonight, who was the most amount of minutes. It was tied with P. Watt, so they both were the most amount of minutes there. He had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 7 for 13 from field, 2 for 3 from 3, 2 for 3 from free throws, 2 turnovers, 1 personal foul, was a +2. And then Jamal Murray had a decent game, 32 minutes, 28 points, and mind you, 32 minutes because he got 3 fouls in the first half. They sat him for most of the second quarter because he had once he checked in, he got like a 3rd foul and immediately had to be checked back out. So he was barely playing in that first half because he got so many fouls already. But then he didn't get a single foul in the second half. He had, again, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 11 for 22 from field, 4 for 9 from 3, 2 for 2 from free throws, 2 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a +1. And then Brody had a double-double. He had 14 points off the bench in 25 minutes, 5 rebounds, 10 assists, 1 steal. He was 5 for 10 from field, 1 for 5 from 3, 3 for 4 from free throws, 5 turnovers. He was not. He had some of the worst turnovers tonight were by Brody. 4 personal fouls, was a -11. And then that's pretty much, we don't need to get into anyone else. Except for Zeke had 3 amazing blocks. He has been playing really good defense lately for us. So great to see that. Overall stats, we had 52 rebounds to their 43, so we out-rebounded them. 34 assists to their 31, we out-assisted them. We had 5 steals to their 8, so they outstole us. We had 9 blocks to their 5, so we outblocked them. We shot 47% from field. They shot 49. We shot 30% from 3. They shot 43%. We shot 66% from free throws. They shot 84. So the free throws is a big issue right now for the Nuggets. They are not shooting well. And then turnovers. We had 12 overall turnovers. They had 10. We had 16 personal fouls. They had 17. Not a great game for the Nuggets. And then real quick too, luckily the Lakers lost tonight, so that's awesome. They lost to the Magic, so thank you, Magic. That kept us alive. And then also the Timberwolves took a loss tonight, so that's great. Now we just need the Hawks to win against the Rockets tomorrow to keep this thing within distance. Big takeaways here. My big takeaways, the Nuggets for the most part actually showed like they wanted to compete this game. There was several times they were able to really take the game, but the Bulls have been playing great ball lately, and showed that tonight. The Nuggets definitely showed how badly they need Jokić as well. In these past 5 games, if you've wanted to see what the Nuggets would be like without Jokić, this is what they would be like. They've gone 2 for 3 in the last 5 games, so that makes them a sub 500 team. Just within 5 games. I know it's just 5 games, but you can pretty much extend that to the season. Like, they would be a sub 500 team without Jokić, and it's just really unfortunate. Like, you're going to win some. Of course they're going to win some, and they've gotten 2 great wins, right? They won an amazing game against a high defensive, elite defensive team with Golden State. They won another game without Jokić against another elite defensive team in the Rockets, but they just weren't able to bring it in 3 of those other well, I would say probably 2 of those other games, because tonight they did bring it. It was just kind of they got out-hustled. The Bulls had more relaxing time, which isn't always good for you, but it showed that they got some more acclimate to the altitude. They were probably already in Denver before the Nuggets were, so they got some time to accustom themselves to that altitude. Then the big worry for me was the Nuggets getting blown out by Portland. I know that was a couple of games ago, and we're kind of trying to get over it, but that was a huge worry this late into the season. Like, yeah, the Wizards, getting swept by the Wizards was a huge worry, but you still have a lot more games to kind of correct those issues. And the fact that they haven't really corrected those issues brings the worry to me. Now we have, 10 games left, and luckily we are lucking out, and I stress that we are lucking out with how bad the Lakers are playing right now, because if they really wanted to, they could overtake that 3rd seed just by waiting for us to lose another game. Until Jokic's back, it's going to be a battle, and so we just need other teams to lose more as well in our area. So, but that's been kind of the game. That's been the game that has me. So that Portland game has been the game that's really had me questioning if the Nuggets can win a chip this year, essentially. Of course, you've had Lakers blown out by the Bulls recently. That helped with the mentality of feeling better after you get blown out by the Trailblazers. Because if they had won against the Bulls, I was actually confident that they were going to win against the Bulls. As a Bulls fan, I'm really glad that the Bulls not only won, but crushed them. That was a great surprise. And then as a Nuggets fan, even better of a surprise. But they could have that could have flipped the other way. But it didn't, and that helped with the hangover loss, the loss of the hangover or whatever, of the Portland Trailblazers game. And that helped us a little bit there. And so with that, ultimately, I think the winning team this year, I gotta say it's going to be either OKC, Cavs, or Celtics. I hate that the Celtics are still playing at a high defensive level. I mean, I feel like actually the Nuggets were playing at a better level last season, but they also spent a lot of effort to try to get that 1 seed. And that's kind of what I'm wondering if the Celtics are doing right now, too, to kind of stay up there. They've kind of, it almost seems like they've kind of looked back at the previous defending champions and seen what they did wrong, and they're almost slightly kind of correcting it a little bit throughout the season. So that's what kind of makes me feel like maybe they will save a little bit of their energy to go into the post season to basically do a lot better there. I hope that the Celtics don't even make it to the finals, but we'll see. I definitely think that OKC is a top contender right now for the finals, as well as the Cavs. But I hope that the Nuggets prove me wrong. I would love to be proven wrong in this. And if anything taught us from last season, it's that the Mavs came into the finals as a 5 seed. So being a 3 seed going into the finals isn't really like absurd to hear about. We just have to play well in the finals and win, But I just don't see enough evidence that another team can actually win the championship other than those three. So, what is this loss? What does this loss do for the Nuggets? So, with this loss, we are now 45-28. We're still sticking with that third seed, luckily, because again, the Lakers got that loss. So we're sitting a game above them and a game and a half behind Houston. So that's why the Houston needs to lose tomorrow. But with this loss, it has allowed Houston to clinch a playoff spot. So we are 45-28. Houston is 46-26. We are a .616% there, 15 games behind OKC. Lakers are 43-28 win-loss record, 16 games behind, and then Memphis is also 16 games behind. So they're tied with the Lakers right now. And then you have 18 games behind, which essentially 2 games behind the 5 seed is Golden State. Luckily for Golden State, the Minnesota lost tonight, because if they won, they would actually have taken over the 6th seed, gotten out of that play-in, and I just really want the Timberwolves to be in that play-in. You stay in the play-in, Timberwolves. That's where you deserve. And then, so right now the standings in the from basically this 2 seed to 8 seed is all up in the air. A couple of games lost and you're down in the play-in. A couple of games win and you're sticking in the higher seed area in the playoffs. So it's just crazy right now how all over the map that is. And then the only other thing I would say there is you have the 4th and 5th seed on the East Coast, or the East Conference, with Indiana and Milwaukee. They're both pretty much tied for the 4th seed, with Indiana getting the tiebreaker there. And then pretty much now, actually Chicago really needed this win more than the Nuggets did, I kind of think, because they are battling to stay in the play-in, because they're so close to being out of the play-in, and not even contending for the playoffs. So they really needed this win. They are 32-40. Behind them in the 10th seed is the Miami Heat with 30-41. So they are a game and a half ahead of Miami now. Had they lost, they would have been a half a game ahead of Miami, and there was a huge chance they would be in the 10th seed. So they needed this more than we did, but we still needed it really bad. And the next games, so on Wednesday we are facing the Bucks. We've got we are getting swept by so many Eastern Conference teams this year. It is really unfortunate. I mean, we were lucky enough to sweep the Hornets and the Magic and the Hawks and the Raptors and the Nets. So we've swept 5, right? We've swept 5 teams. But we've gotten swept now by the Cavs, the Knicks, the Celtics, the Wizards, and now the Bulls. So we've gotten swept by 5 teams. We've swept 5 teams and we've gotten swept by 5 teams. Not great. But also it could be worse. We could have been swept by 10 teams, which I wouldn't be surprised given this year. So, and then so you got the Bucks on Wednesday, and then you got the Jazz on Friday. So that's 3 games, and then we have a 5-game homestand, and then the next one actually isn't until the 1st of the month when we take on the Timberwolves, and that will be I believe that's a nationally televised game. That's a TNT game there, and isn't it? Yeah, it should be. And then we have the Spurs. So there's a back-to-back there, 1st and 2nd there of April. And that rounds out our 5-game homestand. Nuggets got to play better. Essentially, the time is of the essence, and they can't just be waiting around for Jokić to come back. They need to make giant leaps, and I know that they're most likely just resting Gordon to make sure that he's healthy and safe for the playoffs, but they need to play more as a unit. If they had played this hard, I think, against Portland, they probably wouldn't have been blown out by Portland. And so that was nice, but the consistency, needing to stay playing hard, especially in the fourth quarter, in the third quarter as well, and actually the second quarter, playing hard enough in the second quarter to not get down to lose that quarter by 8. That was a big hit, So I guess they got to play better overall, and hopefully they do on Wednesday against the Bucks. So that's pretty much all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it to your friends and family. And you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about sports with good vibes. We'll catch you later.